Okay, so your
Here is from or from.
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 Okay, I'll give you a clue. Okay, so this is for your CCNA security. Fine. So let's look at Cisco ASA firewall. Okay, so your Cisco ASA firewall again. What is it? It's a router with security features, isn't it? And what's the symbol for your Cisco for the firewall? Uh, Triangle in the circle, isn't it?
Yes.
Correct. Then, so if this is your firewall, wherein it's connected to a router here, okay, and this side you have another router. So this is your internet actually. Okay, so the firewall is going to stop packets coming from any untrusted network. In that case, what your firewall is going to do is going to divide the whole network into two parts. One will be this, and another one will be this. So this will be your first, this will be your second area. This area will be your trusted area, or you can say trusted zone. Okay, then, or else you can call it inside area. Okay, and usually you will use private IP addresses in this area because this is your company or this is your organization internal network. Okay, the other area here, this will be called untrusted area or zone, untrusted zone. This is actually your internet, and you will always have public IP addresses in this zone.
Yes.
Okay, good. So if this is the case, how does firewall works? Okay, how does your firewall work? To make your firewall work, okay, on your firewall you have got two rules. What are those two rules? Your rule number one, which says any traffic is by default allowed to go through the firewall from any low security level interface to any other.
From high to low, sir.
Yep, sorry, from high security level interface to any other low security level
Based upon TCP or
interface. Okay,
based upon TCP and UDP.
so your rule number one. Okay, now I think this part you already know. How do you set up GNS, or how do you prepare GNS for firewall, isn't it?
So everything done, sir. Only I have one problem, sir.
So for this you need to come to open up GNS, come to edit, come to preferences, under preferences come to Vimo, go to Power, Pix or ASA.
I made everything like this, sir.
I'm using Pix. I'm
Give
using
me
Pix
1
for the
GB,
reason.
whatever it is needed to finance everything.
Okay, come to this page, give some name here, say like Pix. Okay, then you need to load the image of your firewall. So for that, browse wherever you have kept your firewall and load the particular image. Say open, load the image, then finally uh, in the same folder there will be one text file where you can find the license and the activation key. So open up that particular file, PEX activation key. From this, copy the serial key, paste it in the serial field. Okay, copy the license, the activation, this entire string, and paste it in the key part. Once this is done, save it, click on OK, go back to GNS, drag firewall in the workspace. Your firewall is
It will work.
fine. Then take two routers, again. If you don't know, you need to go to edit, under edit go to iOS image and hypervisor. Over here, come to this field, go and locate the iOS image file. Okay, and then click on open. Once you click on open, it will come here. You need to save it. After saving, close. Then you can come here, workspace, drag router to the workspace and use it.
That all over.
Fine. Make the connection. I am connecting R1 to interface E1 of the firewall. I am connecting E2 interface of the firewall to router R2. Okay. Then I am taking one more router here, and I am making connection again. I am connecting firewall E3 interface to router R3 F0/0 interface. Fine. So let me bring up the names of all the interfaces. This is E1, this is E2, E3. I'm doing this for you people only, so I'll give you this. Go through, do it again.
But that fix is working, sir. That commands are working on.
Okay, so this is the topology what we'll be setting up. I'll assign say network 10 11 11 0/24 over here. Okay, I'll keep a public network here, say 192.1.20.0/24 here, and I'll use a private network 192.168, say 30.0/24 over here. Okay, so I'll be creating one area over here. This will be the second area. and this will be your third area. Good. This area becomes your inside or your trusted network. This becomes your outside or your untrusted or your internet. Okay, and this area is called DMZ, which stands for demilitarized zone. DMZ, demilitarized zone. Okay,
Remote.
fine. Better I'll put it in a square box. That will be perfect. This is your demilitarized zone. Okay,
Why do you
I'll tell you.
wait?
I'll tell you. Keep. Okay, so as per rule 1, you already know. So what we need to do is we need to configure all the interfaces, and these interfaces, some part are similar like your router, how you do it on the router, and some parts of configuration is different. Like on the router, when we configure this on the router, when we configure on the router, we go to interface, we say like a physical name of the interface like f0/0, we assign IP address, say IP address, say 10.11.11, 10.255.255.255.0, no shut, exit, done. But when you do the same thing on the firewall, your firewall needs something extra.
Yes.
What is it? The security level and the name. Firewall, on the firewall, each interface needs a name. So you need to name interface E1 something, E3 and E2. All three interfaces of this firewall should be given some name,
Yeah.
isn't it? So let's say I'll assign a name to interface E1 as say inside. To E2 I'll say assign name outside, and to E3 I'll say assign name DMZ.
Security level will be 0.
Fine. Then to whenever you assign a name to interface, by default a security level is set. Okay, so if your name is inside, the default security level will be set to 100, which is the maximum security value. And except inside name, you assign any name to any interface, the default value will be set to what?
0.
0. So similarly for DMZ interface also, the value will be set to 0, but I don't want it to be 0.
I need to edit.
I want it to be something else. In that case, I'll make use of the keyword security level.
Security level.
I'll use the command security level, and I'll change the default security level from 0 to something else.
Yes.
Okay, so right now I'm not mentioning anything what will be the security level over here. Okay, so name is done, security level is done by default. Apart from this, you need to assign IP address to this interface, and finally you will do a no shut to bring up this interface.
So one thing, sir, if there is two networks, okay, and outside, okay, this is inside and this is what you say DME, okay, DME network. In this I'll assign the outside is assigned as a default security level 0, and it is if I'll assign
Fine. Then once you have done this, so what's the configuration part of this? Configuration wise, when you do it on the firewall, you need to say interface. You need to go to interface. Okay, better we'll go on doing this. So what I'll do is I'll start up all the devices.
घर पे जाके इसको 2-3 बार प्रैक्टिस किया, सारा नोट्स बना लिया, जाएगा नहीं करेगा. If you don't practice at home, how can you manage it? You need to practice, you need to understand, you need to see everything.
Okay, now once this is done, double click on the firewall, get the console. When you get the console, okay, you will be at the user exec level of the firewall. Okay, it's already saved. Great. Okay, this is for those who are not getting this command in the running. When you say show running policy map, if you find that you don't get any output for this, then what you do is switch your mode. Okay, first let me do this on my system. Mode single, let this come up again. Don't do this in regular situation because you will not be in this mode. Okay, so let the firewall come up. I'll tell you what to do.
Just now give the command in mode single.
No, nothing is required as of now. I'll tell you what command to be given. If you see that your firewall is not rebooting, what you can do is you can go to the workspace, right click on the firewall and click on reload. This will reboot your firewall. Fine. So as of now your firewall is booting up.
It boots like a real device only.
Fine. So your firewall is up. Okay, you should find your firewall in single mode, your firewall in router mode, and security context as single. So before starting, check your firewall by saying show firewall. See the firewall mode, it's in routing mode, and say show mode to check the security context mode, it is in single. Okay, these commands you can execute from config t mode also, global configuration mode as well. Okay, and also when you type enable to get to the privilege level, you will be prompted for a password. Actually by default on the device there is no password, so you can just directly hit enter, get to the privilege level. Under privilege level just type config t or configure terminal, the same command like what we have on the router, get to the config. Once you are here, you first thing check show run policy map. This is for those, because on some of the systems you do not get policy maps and then you cannot edit or change the inspection policies. So first thing, do this show running policy map, hit enter, see whether you get this output or not. In case you're not getting this output, then do this. Okay, so this step is only if you don't get the above shown output. If you don't get, then execute this command, say mode multiple. This would make your firewall reboot. So reboot your firewall, this will come to this mode, you will find your firewall in this mode. Okay, let your firewall reboot. Again go to firewall, say show mode. You should see this command, mode multiple. Once you see this, again bring back your firewall to single mode by saying mode single. When you will do this, this will ask you for a confirmation and this will reboot. This command will initiate a reboot. This will reboot your firewall. Reboot your firewall. You would see that your firewall will boot again and you would see your firewall will be in single context mode again. Then once again come back and check this, execute this command. You should see this out. Do it. Okay, we don't need to do this.
What's
You just concentrate here. Let him do.
I need to write that.
Yeah. Okay, so for a review, what you will do is boot the firewall. Okay, say show firewall.
Command was show mode here, sir.
You say show firewall. You should get this output.
I should say show firewall.
Okay, then next command would be show mode. You should get this output, mode single. Then next command say show running policy map. In case you don't get any output, change the mode, change the security context mode. How? You say mode multiple. This will automatically reboot your firewall. Once the firewall comes up, again do the same thing. After rebooting, what do? Again do the same thing, show mode. This time it should show you. Once this is done, change mode by saying mode single. This would again reboot your firewall, and once firewall is up, again go and check show mode. This should show you mode as single and then say show running policy. This should fix your problem. Okay,
Mean to say we have to assign that commands in the multiple mode only.
so what I'll do next is I'll just configure these devices. Okay, and then we'll see what is DMZ. Okay, so let's configure this. I'll configure interface E1 of firewall with name as inside. So because of this, the default security level will be set to 100. Correct. Then I'll give IP address as 10.11.11.10 255.255.255.0, and finally here no, and I exit. No. Okay, this is for P1. So let me directly come here and do it directly on the device. So go to R1, config T, interface F0/0 with an IP address 10.11.11. Your next step should be from here, point a default gateway. You should have a default gateway. What will be the default gateway here? If you are at R1, what will be the default gateway for R1?
Firewall.
Firewall inside interface,
Yes.
isn't it? So let's go and do this. IP route,
Yes.
done. Then next thing, go to firewall, or come, let's configure R2 first. Let's configure R2. Config T, interface F0/0 with an IP address of 192.120.255.255.0 or no short and that's done. Then next thing, I'll go to okay fine, let's configure R3 as well. I'll configure R3, interface F0/0 with an IP address 192.168.30.3 255.255.255.0 is the mask. No shut to bring it up. Finally exit. From R3 I need to point what? Okay, so this is your company. This is your company.
DMZ.
Yep. And this is your
Router.
internet.
Internet.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll do this. Okay, so in this diagram, not this much part is of your company. Okay, this much part is of your company, and this is your internet. So for R1, default gateway will go here, firewall, and similarly for your R3, the default gateway will go to again firewall. And firewall, all the interfaces I am keeping the address as .10. So .10, this will become 192.168.30.10. This will become 192.1.20.10. Okay, so come back here, IP route 30.10. 30.10 is what? Firewall. Because R3 F0/0 interface, router 3 F0/0 interface is connected to firewall. That's why the default gateway for R3 is firewall. Done. Now let's go to firewall, configure this. Show interface IP brief. The command is different from router, isn't it? So right now nothing is configured. So start configuring. I'll configure interface E1 first with the name as inside. This would set security level to 100. So security level set to 100. Then I'll assign IP address by saying IP address 10.11.11.10 255.255.255.0 or no shut and finally exit. Done. Check show running interface. Which one? E1. So show running interface E1. It's configured properly. Name is inside, security level assigned, okay, and IP address is also assigned. Good. Next interface. Interface E2. Name if outside, security level for any name except inside the value goes to 0. So security level is set to 0. I'll assign IP address by saying 192.120.10.255.255.255.0 or no shut and a exit. Show running interface E2 configured. Show interface IP brief. Two interfaces are configured. Now the next interface, which is your interface okay, now your next interface, which is your interface E3 of the firewall. So E2 we have set as outside, E1 we have set as inside. Security level here is 100, security level here is 0. So your security value can range from 0 to 100, where 0 is your minimum security. This usually you give to untrusted area or your internet, and 100 is the max security which you generally give to your inside or your private network or your company. You set your company on inside network.
So
Fine.
two same security levels can be assigned at the interfaces.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I cannot use the same name for E3 because inside outside is taken. So I'll need to use some different name. Okay. Now understand what is demilitarized zone. Demilitarized zone, like suppose there are two countries. This is India and this is say Pakistan. Okay, both their border is not same. They have left some space in between the border. Okay, where no one has control, which belongs to neither India nor Pakistan. Okay, so everywhere two nations leave some space between the two borders, which is called demilitarized area or demilitarized zone, where you do not deploy any military. Okay, so same way we have a demilitarized zone on the firewall, which is a zone between your inside, which is your trusted, and your untrusted. So your demilitarized zone falls between them. Okay, so for your demilitarized zone you can give any name. Usually the name given is DMZ, which stands for demilitarized zone. Okay, so when you assign this name, you would see the security level will be set to 0. Let's try this. I'll go to interface E3. I'll say name if DMZ. When I hit enter, any name except inside will get default security level of what? 0. So even same thing happens with DMZ. But now the problem is if I keep 0 here. So if I say show running interface E2, E2 already has security 0, and then now I have assigned interface E3 also the security value is 0. If this is the case, on firewall two different interfaces with same security level cannot talk. I hope this is clear. Two different interfaces with same security level cannot communicate with each other. So because of this, if both the places the security level is same 0 0, then this is what will happen. Then in that case you would see that this traffic which will be starting from R3 and will try to go out, this is not possible for the reason that the security value of E2 is 0 and security value of E3 is also set to, because security level value is same both the places, you cannot talk. So that's why, and I cannot assign security level of 100 as well, because if I assign 100, these two will become same, 100 100.
I cannot talk.
Okay, and usually in the demilitarized zone you keep your usually servers are kept in demilitarized zones. All your hosts or the PCs are kept in your, and you have internet in your untrusted or outside zone. So if you have kept server here, and if you are setting your inside network and your DMZ server both values, security values same, then what will happen? No inside host will be able to come and access servers. Why? Security level is same. And if you set outside and servers on the same, then from internet nobody will be able to come and access your servers. Again a problem. So your security value for your DMZ zone should be between 0 and, so your security value for DMZ zone should be from 1 to any value from up till. Do not assign security value 0 or 100 for DMZ, because if you assign 0 outside from internet nobody will be able to come to DMZ, and if you assign 100 from inside nobody will be able to come to DMZ. So your value here should be anything between 1 to 99, and usually we assign a security level of 50. Good. So I'll come back here. I'm already under the interface E3. I'll change the security value. Right now it's 0 for DMZ. I'll change it to security level 50, and I'll assign IP address, say 192.168.30.10. I do not assign subnet mask because 192 is already part of class C, and that's what the subnet mask is, /24. So I don't need to, I can just skip. Finally I'll do a no shutdown to bring up the interface. Show running interface E3. This is the configuration for your DMZ interface. Okay, other commands are this. You can say show nameif to check the names assigned to interface and the security level assigned to each interface using this command. You can say show nameif. This would show what interface, like E1 is assigned name inside and the security level for this is 100. E2 is assigned name if outside and security is 0, and so on. Alright, once this is done, you have 3 interfaces. All 3 interfaces are at different security level. So at this, in this case, as per the rule, I'll add second rule as well. Any TCP or UDP based traffic going through the firewall is by default implicitly inspected. Implicit is something like you can't see and can't change, or you can't alter it, and default is something like you can see it and you can change or modify, or you can say alter it. So as per this rule, if you check your traffic flow, it's saying what? Any traffic by default is allowed to go through the firewall from. So from becomes what? Your source. From source, from any high security level interface. So what are high security level interfaces here? You have 100, which is for name inside, which is assigned to interface E1 of the firewall. Next high security level is 50, which is assigned to
DMZ.
correct DMZ, which is interface E3 on the firewall, and these are higher than 0. Hello. Attendance. Okay, so here the lowest one is your 0, which is assigned to outside, which is nothing but your interface E2. So in this case, your high level interfaces are what? Your E1 and your E2. Correct? So the possible directions as per high to low are this. You can go from R1, which is on high level 100. You can go from 100 to 0, which is high to low. Also you can go from 100 to 50, which is again from high to low, because 100 is higher than 50. So you can go from inside to outside, and you can go from inside to DMZ as well. Next, third traffic flow would be from 50 to 100. No, 50 to 100 is not possible, because 50 is low, 100 is high, right? So possible is 50 to 0. So the possible traffic flow is 1. You can go from in to out. Second one, you can go from in to DMZ. And your third traffic flow in this firewall, on this firewall as of now possible is, you can go from DMZ to outside, because DMZ is at a security level of 50 and outside is at a security level of 0. So 50 is
So we have to keep in our concept how to flow our data.
very important. Fine. Now right now you know the flow. These are the possible flow. For this you don't have to do anything. This will definitely work. And in this flow, second rule says, in this flow what will work? Any TCP and UDP traffic which is going through the firewall is by default implicitly inspected. So when the traffic is going through the firewall, for that outgoing traffic, a reverse entry is kept in what? In the
Connection table.
in the connection table. How do you check this? By saying show
Same
con.
milestone from here.
This is the command that would show the inspection entry. Okay, so let's verify this. What I'll do is,
So the connection table entry is inverse entry.
yeah, reverse entry of the reverse entry of the outgoing traffic.
Reverse entry. That is for reverse entry.
Okay, so very first step here, what you should do actually is, after deploying the firewall, check whether the security level and the names are correct. Once this is done, say show interface IP brief. Check whether all your interfaces are up. If it is so, For the verification purpose, try to ping your directly connected interfaces. I'll repeat this. If it is proper, try to ping your directly connected interfaces. Okay, so in this case, as my all the interfaces of firewall are configured, what I'll do is from the firewall I try to ping the directly connected interfaces. So directly connected interfaces are what? F0/0 of R1, F0/0 of R2, and F0/0 of, these are the directly connected interfaces, ping them. So from firewall say ping 10.11.11.1, this is R1, ping 192.1.20.2, this is R2, and you finally ping R3 by saying ping 192.168.30.3. This means you are able to reach the directly connected interfaces or the networks. So up till this point you are correct. You have deployed the firewall properly. Okay. After this, try to send some traffic and verify it. So for this, what I'll do is I'll set line VTY on R2. Line VTY.
क्या टेंशन entry का नाम क्या बोले? Reverse entry.
Reverse.
Sorry.
Reverse. Line VTY password Cisco. Done. I'll set line VTY on R2 so that I can telnet and verify this. So I'll go to R1. Over here I'll set route, IP route 10.11.11.0.255.255.255.0 is reachable by sending a packet where? I am on R2. Alright. I'm here on R2. I want to set a route for this network. Which network? Because from R1 there is a default gateway pointing here. From R3 there is a default gateway pointing here. Okay. What I'll do is on the firewall I'll add a default gateway pointing towards the internet, and on internet from here I'll give static route for these two networks. And for both the cases the default next hop will be firewall outside interface IP address, which is what? 192.1.20.10. Good. Okay, so let's do this. Here I'll say 192.120.10, and next network is 192.168.30.0. Done. I'll go to, so these are the routes I have added on R2 from outside. I'll add a default route on firewall. How do you add default route on firewall? You do not use any command. See, this was the command on the router. Let's try, let's see what happens. I'll copy this and I'll paste this on firewall and see what happens. This gives me an error, and my error, the marker is at what? Route, which means there is something wrong before route. Before this keyword there is something, there is a mistake. So on firewall there is no IP route command. The command starts with keyword route. Then you need to give the exiting interface IP address. So what is the exiting interface for the firewall if you want to set the default gateway? The exit interface for firewall for the default gateway towards internet is what? This will be your exit interface, right? E2. What is name of E2? Outside. What's the name assigned to E2? Outside. So that's why take name outside. So assign name outside. I'm giving a default gateway, that's why 0 means what? Default. So I'll not write 0000, rather I'll write just 10 for network. Then do a question mark. For the net mask, I'll just write down again a 0 because 0 means default. And finally the gateway or the next hop, which is 192.120.2. 10 is the firewall. 10 is firewall itself. 2 router 2 outside. I am on firewall. Here in case of firewall, it will be, in case of router it will be firewall, static routes for this network and done. Now at this moment what I'll do is, from R1 I'll telnet what? I'll telnet R2. This will be able to go out. Why? Because telnet is what? Telnet is TCP based traffic, and we already have a rule. First rule is this, that it's going from high, which is security level of 100, to a security level, to a low security level, which is 0, because of rule 1. Second thing, this is second rule. This is a TCP based traffic. This will be inspected and an entry will be kept on firewall in the connection table. We'll go and verify this entry, and because of this entry the traffic which has gone out will be able to come back in from a low security to a, so traffic would flow from low security to high security because of the entry present in the connection table, which says that yes, this connection was initiated from your trusted network towards the untrusted network, so it's your own connection, please let it come in. Okay, so let's do this. I'll go to R1 and I'll say telnet 192.120 dot. I can go out, I get the username password access Cisco, and I'm at R2. You can say show users to verify who has logged in. 10 11 11 1. This is nothing but R1, correct? This belongs to R1 and you have telneted into R2. At this moment if you go to firewall and say show con, this will show you the inspection entry, what the inspection entry, after inspection entry what the connection entry was kept, and this would show.
This is only possible to see only when the connection is enabled.
Wait, I'll tell you. So if you check this, inspection entry, okay, the connection was started from, just 1 minute, just wipe this. Okay, if you check this entry, this says a TCP connection, this. Okay, now understand, you telneted from R1 to R2, isn't it? So what was the source? Source was R1 with IP address 10. From this IP address, from this port number, which is 30186, randomly picked up. From this port number,
So destination was
to
R2.
destination, which is this, which is 192.1.20.2, and as we were telnetting, so the port number is,
23.
the connection was initiated, and this connection was from high security level to low, so that's why you could go through the firewall. Second rule was for this traffic, because this traffic was a TCP traffic. For TCP traffic, implicit inspection is done, and implicit inspection, because of implicit inspection, reverse entry is created. That would be for your incoming packet. So incoming packet, this IP will become what?
Source.
Source, and this IP will become
Destination.
Destination.
and this entry will be present where? In the connection table. So connection table says if there is a TCP connection which will be coming from this source to this destination, and it would like to come on inside interface. So 10, 11, 11, 1 is present where? Is present on, and 192, this is present where? On the
Outside.
outside. That's why, because of this entry present in the connection table, firewall allows a packet coming from low security level towards a. If this connection entry is not there, it's not possible to send a packet from low security level to a high security level interface. So similarly, if you try to go from DMZ to out, so this was your first traffic flow. Similarly, the second traffic flow, if you try to go from DMZ to outside, you would see you can go out, plus you would see there will be one more connection entry in the table. So let's try this. I'll go to R3 and I'll say telnet 192.120 dot. You see, yes, reached, check. You would see that two users have logged in. One is DMZ R3 and one is router R1. You would see two IP addresses here. This IP address belongs to R1 and this IP address belongs to R3. And if you go to firewall and check the inspection entry, you would see earlier there was only one entry. Now you would see what? Two entries. Check. Both entries differ. The first entry says this entry is for what? This is from R3, and the down entry 10, 11, 11, 1 port number 30186 is for. That's why any telnet packet coming from R2 to R3, which is from low to high, would be allowed because of this entry, and any packet coming from R2 towards R1, which is again from low security to a high security, would be allowed because of this entry. So this is what? This is your implicit inspection, and it is done for which kind of traffic? Only TCP and UDP by default. Apart from this, how do you check this inspection? Say show running policy map. These are your inspections. Okay, so these inspections, what you see here, these inspections
We by default work here.
all these inspections are called your default inspections. By default,
It will work, yeah.
because you can see them and you can change them. Remember this. Remember this, what is default? You can see it, you can change it or modify it. Fine. When you come, okay, fine. So these are default. Okay, and right below here, after all this is your implicit inspection, which is for only traffic. That's why you cannot see this and you cannot change this. That's for your TCP and UDP. Good. So these, if you want, you can change them. Okay, so right now if you see, you can telnet through the firewall. So I'll just say log out, and I'll log out from this also. So if you see, you can telnet this IP. But if you try at the same time, if you try to ping this IP, you would see this is not working. And reason is very clear, that the implicit inspection is done only for TCP and UDP based. What you are trying to do is ICMP based, and for which there is no inspection. So what you need to do is you need to turn on the inspection so that it can create a reverse entry. Right now what is happening is this. It's not a routing issue. See, I'll show you this. See, right now what is happening is, from R1 you're trying to ping R2. So what you're doing is you are sending what? You're sending ICMP echo request packet from R1 to, and R2 is supposed to send you echo reply. So it's not that your packet is not going through the firewall. Packet is going through the firewall for the reason that it's from high to a low security interface, rule 1. But this packet, the returning packet, which is an echo reply packet, is not coming back. For the reason, firewall reason is the rule 2, which is only TCP and UDP is implicitly inspected, and this is a ICMP based traffic. This is not inspected. Okay, so what you can do is you can perform ICMP inspection. You can perform ICMP inspection, or what you can do is you can apply an ACL over here on this interface in this direction. Which direction? Incoming direction on outside interface. You can apply an ACL. Actually, the inspection method is better. Reason being, in this case, any traffic means like you can ping outside and get a echo reply back, but from internet nobody will be able to ping you. But if you apply an ACL, in that case anybody can ping you. I'll show you both, just check. So if you want to turn on inspection for ICMP, what you do is simple step. Come here, say show running policy. Once you get the output, copy these two top lines. Global policy. What is global policy? This is the default inspection policy on your firewall. And what is the inspection default? This selects the traffic. What kind of traffic do you want to see this? Check. Say show running class map. What's the class map contains? It is matching what? Default inspection traffic. Now see what is default inspection traffic. I'll create a class, say XYZ, or let's go to this class only and check what is default inspection class. What is actually selected by it? Say match. Your default inspection traffic is a special match, which matches what? Which matches so many traffic. All traffic are on their standard ports. All traffic are on this standard. Example, your web traffic always comes on TCP port 80. Correct? Your ICMP is ICMP. Your email comes always on port 25. Your FTP is always port 21. Got it? Fine. So your default, this is selected by, this is a match default inspection traffic, and the traffic is matched on all these standard port. So any of these will get inspected because all are what? TCP or UDP based. If you see here, all traffic are what? TCP UDP based. Plus you can do inspection for ICMP as well here. But for that you need to turn on ICMP inspection. Right now ICMP inspection is off. Understand this. Okay, that's why when you do show running policy map and you see these things, it's saying inspect FTP. Inspect FTP, okay, but where? Where is the traffic for FTP? Which traffic should I inspect? You should inspect this traffic. Which traffic? Any FTP traffic coming on TCP port 21. Can you relate this? This is what is selected by this is what is selected by your mesh, that class inspection default traffic. Okay, then this is what your running policy is. Got it?
It is a standard port number, sir.
Fine. So you have inspection default. This gets you the traffic. This brings you the traffic, and the traffic brought by this class is what? This traffic. So when under this, what? Under your global policy, when we are saying that please inspect FTP, please inspect ESMTP, inspect TFTP, where to do this inspection? For TFTP, do inspection here. Where is it? It's not.
69.
Can you see it somewhere?
Yeah. First one, second last. First, second last.
Okay. For it's here.
Yeah. FTP.
For ESMTP, where is it? Okay, and then for where is it? For DNS, do it here. For SQL Telnet, SMTP, FTP, IP. For SQL Telnet, do it here. For Skinny. So when you are saying inspection, this inspection is done where?
That is port number.
On these traffic.
We call it traffic, not port number.
No. For these traffic. So any traffic which is coming on. Okay. I think it is cropped. This is TFTP and this is FTP. Okay. For FTP this will be 420. Okay, so any traffic coming on this TCP port 21 is FTP traffic, and I am told to do FTP inspections, so you will inspect this traffic. Similarly ESMTP, similarly TFTP, and so on. Okay, so right now ICMP is not there. So what you can do is say show running policy map. Whatever the output you get, select your default policy map and class map, which are these two. Inspection default is your default class map, and global policy is your default policy map, which means it is already programmed. You cannot change it. So copy these, paste it, and say inspect. Now you see in this whole list you do not see ICMP. After this command you would see ICMP again. Okay, exit, say show running. Now it's inspecting what? It's inspecting ICMP as well. Now if you try to ping, you would see from here this ping was not working. Now try to ping. It's working. Why? It's working because of those rules, and the rule says any traffic is allowed to go from high to low, and because the rule says ICMP inspection is what? It's on. Because of this, the return packet which is from low to high is also allowed. Which one? The same packet, which is this one, echo reply for the same packet, because of inspection entry. But at the same time, if you start pinging from here, if you make this as source and try to ping inside, this would not work. Why? Because the packet is starting from a low security to a high, which is not allowed. So let's try this. Ping, this is working, but at the same time, if from outside network, if you try to ping,
So inside any network or outside any network, sorry,
this doesn't work. If you want this to make this work, you would need ACL on the firewall. Create an ACL, access list. Okay, by default the access list on firewall are named extended list, which means if you are giving a number like 101, the 101 is not a number for firewall, it's treating it as a name, it's not a number. Okay, so I'll give some name, say like out, then your action, I want to permit what? I want to permit ICMP, the protocol, permit ICMP from where? Source. From where source? Which source? I want any source. Anybody from internet can ping me. Can ping what? Any of my internal networks. Done. Go and apply this. If you check, that's why I told you the list, access list on firewall by default is named extended list. Say show running by default. Did I type this? Access list. By default, the access list on firewall is named extended ACL. Did I type extended?
standard उसमें omitted किया है.
Yep. If you want standard, you would do this access list A, B, C, and then you will have to specify standard. Only then it will become standard. Otherwise, by default, it will remain extended only. Finally, go and apply this by using the command access group, where which ACL you want to apply. I want to apply ACL named out in incoming direction on which interface? Which interface? DMZ, inside or outside? The packet will be coming from internet, you will be applying it on outside interface. So here the name should be what? Outside.
कैसे verify कि ये outside है? क्योंकि इस तरीके से
Because बाहर से पिंग नहीं आ पाएगा ना, लो टू तो पैकेट ऐसे आएगा ना, आउटसाइड पे आएगा ना पहले.
So directly we need to keep in concept that like this, if it is going, then this is inside and that is going out. This is outside.
Obviously. So now this ping was not working. If now you try, it's working. How do you verify this? This was just because of the ACL. Come here, say show access list. This should show you one hit count. This shows you hit count. This means your ACL, what you have applied on the outside interface, is working, and because of this the packet from low security can travel to a high security, but only if the packet is of type ICMP.
Hit count show करने के लिए.
Show access list. Alright, if you see show running access group, you would
ये line हमको लिखवा दीजिए सर. Inspection entry is created for
अभी यहाँ देखो. If you check the access group, you will see you have applied one ACL with the name out on the outside interface. check the access list, show running access list. Outside, the access list named outside contains one permit entry which is allowing ICMP from any source to any destination. Okay, now in this case, suppose
ऐसे में दिक्कत हो रहा है सर, या तो प्रोजेक्ट या तो
in this case, so this is your internet and suppose this is your server what you have kept in your DMZ, or maybe say it's your telnet server what you have kept in DMZ zone, so that people can come and access it from the internet. But that traffic will be coming from a low security level and will try to go to a high security level, will be coming from a security level of 0 and will try to go to a security level of 50, which is not allowed. But you can allow this how?
by applying ACL.
Explicitly, or manually defining it, or manually permitting it. For that, what you will do is on the E2, that's the outside interface of the firewall, apply ACL. Apply ACL for any traffic. So your source in the ACL will be what? Any traffic from the internet coming to what? Destination will be your R3. What is R3? .30 coming to this on port number, say. So if traffic is coming from any IP on the internet and if it is coming to this IP on this port, it will be allowed and it will reach you. Alright, so let's see this. So in the existing ACL, I'll create one more entry, access list out permit TCP source any, destination is 192.168.30.3 and the port is telnet, or you can say 23. Check the access list, show running access list out. There are 2 entries in the ACL. Now if you go to R2, which is internet, and say telnet 192.168.30.3, which is R2 which is R3 the server, you will see you can reach it. You can reach R3. You did not get the password because we have not set the line VTY. So for that you can come here, you can set line VTY saying line VTY 024 password Cisco. Go back, try the same thing again. You get the password, enter the password, and you will see who has telneted in 192.1.20.2. Who is it? R2, the internet. So if you want something to come to the firewall or come to a higher security interface of the firewall, you need to use ACL.
So just to make some emergencies.
Okay.
Sir, please. I want to.
How do you launch ASDM? What is ASDM? It's a graphical user interface for to manage your firewall. Okay. ASDM stands for Adaptive Security Device Manager. Okay. How do you launch this? Come to firewall, say show flash. Okay. Right now, if you take a look, there is no file in the flash what I want. Okay. So for this is a good example what I can give you.
नहीं समझ पाया सर. So flash की है. ठीक है.
Show flash.
Fine. Then go to open network sharing. Okay. For this, very first thing what you need to do is you need to create loopback adapter.
Okay.
Microsoft loopback adapter. For this, you come to start, come to my computer, right click on my computer, come to manage. Okay. Once you come to this window, click on device manager. This would populate a list on in this middle window. From this, click on network adapter, then click on action, which is right up here. Click on this, click on add legacy hardware. Click, you would see this window. Click next, select this option, install the hardware that I manually select from a list, and click on next. From this list, go and pick network adapter. Next. Now you would see two lists here. One is manufacturer and the respective adapters. From the manufacturer list, pick up Microsoft, and from the network adapter list, pick up Microsoft loopback adapter. On Windows 8, it might be KM test loopback adapter, so you would need to select that particular, but make sure you pick loopback adapter. Okay, and then finally click on next. Okay, let it install, let it finish. Once this is done,
I'll do that.
come to once this is done, go to start, control panel, network and internet, network sharing and center. You will come to this page. Once you are on this page, click on change adapter settings and look for the new loopback adapter what you have created. You will see this loopback adapter, Microsoft loopback adapter.
Okay.
All right, once you see that this is created, restart your system,
That's
because this network adapter is not registered, so you need to restart your system so that this adapter gets registered. So after creation, restart your system. Once you restart, come back again, set up the topology again. So what I'll do in this topology is slight change. Oh god, I won't. Okay, fine. Just 1 minute. And this, I think I can pause this. Can't even pause this.
We'll do it after.
Okay.
How crazy.
Okay. I'll write the memory here. That's better. Memory. I'll ask him to stop. Okay, I'll make slight change over here. What I'll do is I'll just remove this interface. I'll take a switch. Okay, after this, I want you to pick host from the workspace. Pick host, bring it here. Right click on the host, click on configure. Come here. From this drop down list, okay, it's not enabled, so let me enable first. So this is disabled. First enable this by double clicking on this. So this is enabled. Now click on this and from this list pick up your loopback adapter. My loopback adapter is what? Local area connection 2. Check here. Local area connection 2 is my loopback adapter. So in your case, whatever is your loopback adapter's name given there, local area connection 2 or Ethernet 2, Ethernet 1, whatever it is, select that particular one from where? From this list. So mine is local area connection. So I'll click on add. This comes here. Finally click on apply and okay, done. Now make the connections again. I'll just connect. While you're using this switch and you want to make connection, always go and use manual. Okay, click on manual. Two, three, done. Let me start. Let me start the firewall again. Done. Now in this network, the firewall is 10.11.11.10. This PC is 10.11.11.1. I need to put some IP address for this PC, and this PC is nothing but my own PC. This PC is my own PC. So what I'll do is I'll set this IP to something. So come here, double click on this. Okay, this is not the one what I want. So I'll go to properties. Under properties, go to IP version 4. Double click and change the IP addresses. I'll put 10.11.11 dot say 99. Same subnet mask of /24, and default gateway is here 10.11.11 firewall dot 10. I click OK. Yes, OK, close. If it is OK, then you will, I'll show you what you will get. Enable. Yes, this is up. Okay, got it. Once this is done, your step should be from your PC ping firewall. Firewall is 10.11.11.10. See whether you can ping him. Yes, you can. Okay. Next thing, go to firewall and ping the PC. So I'll go to firewall, which is here, and ping the PC, which is 10.11.11.99. Yes, you can. In case if you see that from PC you can ping the firewall, but from firewall you are not able to ping, that's because of your Windows firewall. Windows firewall is not allowing it. In that case, come back to this page over here, and you see Windows firewall here. Click on this and make sure your Windows firewall for home or work private networks is what? Off, is disabled. Make sure your Windows firewall for your private network is disabled. Where do you go and disable this? Here. Click on turn Windows firewall on or off and make sure this is checked. Turn off Windows firewall. For what? For
allowing the
private network. Not for your public, only for private. Done? So that's the troubleshooting part. In case you find that you cannot ping what? From firewall to the PC back. Actually, ping is a two-way communication, which means if you are able to ping him, he should be able to ping you. But in this case, because your Windows firewall is active, you will be able to ping him, but he will not be able to ping you. So disable and then try to ping. From firewall, you should be able to. Okay. Once this is done, in the flash, we need a file, which is called ASDM file, asdm.bin file, which is used to launch GUI, which is as of now, if you check the flash, is not available. So for this, what I do is we need to copy it. Okay, so for copying, this is your CCNA stuff. So for copying, first of all, what I'll do is I'll run TFTP server. So I'll come here, I'll start my TFTP server first. So my TFTP server is running, that's good. Okay, now the file what I want to copy is present here. I want to copy this file ASDM641 bin to the flash so that I can launch GUI. So for this what I'll do is the path here should match this path. So I'll set this path. I'll go to browse. It's my computer volume D networking softwares. So in your case, wherever you are keeping the file, you need to go to that particular folder. So I have kept in under D. It's networking softwares. It's firewall iOS and it's ESDM 641. I'll say OK. So the path matches. Select the IP address of your loopback adapter, which is 10.11.99. So on PC it's done. So my PC is acting as my server, TFTP server. Now I'll come to firewall. I'll say copy from TFTP to the flash. Enter. Who is the host? Host is the PC 10.11.11.99. Where is the file present? On my PC. What is my PC address? .99. So .99. Your PC address will come here. Source file name that I can get. Source file name is this. I'll copy this. Paste it. Make sure the file name is correct. And finally, destination file name same. Yes, I want it to be same. You should get these. This means the file is being copied. It's in progress. Give some time.
It is copying in flash file of
Firewall.
firewall.
So you will, after some time, you'll see the file is copied to the flash of your firewall. So give it some time. Okay. Finally, just give some time so that this file gets copied. You will get this output.
इसको इस राउटर से कनेक्ट करने के लिए फिर दूसरा इंटरफेस सेंड करो.
Wrong क्या मैं बताता हूँ. Fine. Finally, the file is copied. Verify by going to the flash. Say show flash, and you see the file is in the flash. It's copied. Okay. I'll just write the memory. Okay. Then next thing is to allow access. Now I want, where's the topology? I want to allow, oh god, 1 minute. I want to allow this PC, which is right here, to access this firewall through GUI. This PC, what is the IP address for this PC? 99/24. And this will be accessing firewall from where? From inside interface. Okay, by default on the interfaces of firewall only ICMP service is running, which means you can only ping. That's it. You want any other service, what do you need to do? Enable it and use it. So right now we want to use HTTP service because we are going to browse, or we are to get the GUI form. You need to browse to the. Okay, so
By
you.
default, the FTP is not enabled.
Nothing is enabled, only ping. That's why you can only ping the interfaces of firewall. Okay, so I'll enable it by saying HTTP. Okay, server and enable. This will enable the service.
Yeah, you give this command and yes.
Fine. Then who can access this? For that you need to say HTTP. Who can access? 10.11.11.99.255.255.255.0 can access him from inside interface. Next thing. Gosh. Oh, sorry. It should be /32 because you are mentioning the host. Done? Then finally give a username that will be used to log in. Admin password say Cisco. This thing is done. Once this thing is done, come to your PC, open up browser, go to the browser and HTTPS to your firewall IP address 10.11.11.10. Fine, you will get this page. Click on continue to this website. You'll get this page. If you come till here, this is good. Once you come here, what you can do is install ASDM launcher and run it. When you click on this will download a file, a setup file. Run it. Once you run, finish installation, you will get this symbol. You will get this desktop icon. I'll give you this. Okay, you will get this desktop icon which says Cisco ASDM IDM launcher. Fine. Then apart from this, you need to run this JRE6U6 Windows i50. So you need to run this version of Java. You need to install this also. Once these two things are done, okay, come and click on this icon. Okay, give the IP address of your firewall which is 10.11.11.10. Give your username which is admin and password is Cisco. Click OK. Device manager. Okay, is it not 10.11.11.10? Java. Continue. Verifying application. Admin. Cisco. You will get this output. Loading cached software. Okay, and this will get you a GUI form for your firewall. This is how you launch Cisco ASDM, and you get the GUI form for your firewall. So what you were doing through CLI, now you can do it through graphical user interface. Okay, when you now if you check this interface, this is your device dashboard wherein you see that your device name is ASA1, isn't it? What's your host name? ASA1. Then what's your version? 8.0.3. Your ASDM version 6.1. Your firewall mode is routed, isn't it? You say show firewall mode is router, it's in routed mode. Fine. Context mode is single. Show mode, it's single. Same informations are available on your interfaces are configured with the same names, isn't it? Show running interface E1. Isn't it same? You have an interface inside with security level 100 and this is the IP address. Same thing. So everything is same. Fine. This is your firewall dashboard. What? Okay. Your configuration things you do under this tab. This is where you do the configuration thing. Your firewall stuff you do under this tab, firewall. everything. Okay, your management thing, device management thing, you do it here. Okay, your monitoring things, you come and verify here. Fine. So this is how you launch your Cisco ASDM. What is Cisco ASDM? It's the graphical user interface to manage your firewall. Alright, and take this, try this.